There's some spooky stuff here in Charleston, West Virginia. Ding! So here I am in Charleston, West Virginia. It's almost Halloween. And nothing better than going to check out some spooky ghosts. I'm a little late. All right, here we go. We're here. Awesome, here we go. Hi. Hello. The family's here. They are. Hi.
You made it. Okay guys, I am April Morgan. I am your ghost tour hostess tonight. I'm also a paranormal enthusiast. So I really like a good ghost story. I like getting scared, but I will be the first one to tell you that if you actually encounter anything along the tour with me tonight, that you will never have seen a hoop skirt run so fast the other way. So you all will be left on your own.
So we're on our own after that.
Okay.
Oh, she's the first one to leave?
Yeah.
Enjoy the spookiness of this tour.
Architect held an office there until the 1950s when he passed away. He himself is still very attached to this building. The architect's favorite part of this building was the elevator. All the way to the right back corner, you'll see the elevator. But they were hearing the dinging of the elevator as if it were hitting each floor. Well, we didn't believe them. We just thought they were pulling our leg, you know. First of all, it's covered up with plywood. It has to have an operator, and it's not functioning, it's not hooked up, it doesn't work right now. And from around the corner, we hear ding. And we ran out of that building so fast. It is really neat to like take a peek in, and you know, who knows, maybe you'll see our elevator operating architect in there.
Ding! Trust me, that's spooky. Like, for real. Spooky. Wow.
Details in this painting that you don't see unless you're in the right spot with the right lighting. And one of those things is very popular among Charlestonians, known as the South Side Bridge Shadow Man. Just pointing out the very top one with the balcony in front of it. It may take some moving around, but there is a shadow man there. If you have the chance to like move around for a few minutes and look for him, you can maybe possibly make him out. Anybody familiar with the mine wars that took place here in West Virginia? Blair Mountain,
yes.
All that? Okay, well, Justice Collins has a very big connection to that. He was actually the owner of several mines here in West Virginia. He was not a very liked man, and that's a lot due to his management practices. Now, back in that time, they had something called scrip. Are you guys familiar with scrip? Basically what miners were given to buy their goods with and everything, and each mine had their own little coinage that could only be spent at a particular company store. You could only buy things with scrip. Now this presented a really big problem, especially when men would get injured and could not work. There was no scrip. Women couldn't work in mines to feed their children, so they basically had a really big dilemma. Well, our lovely Mr. Justice came up with quite the solution. He basically came up with the idea of ESOL scrip. But basically this was a form of scrip that was given to women. Now this was basically a loan. And if your husband went back to work in that 30 days in the mine, the loan was forgiven. Nothing, no big deal, move on. If your husband did not or could not go back to work in the mine in those 30 days, that loan was due on the 30th day of the month. So this loan was basically the only solution women had to provide for their families in these times. Females, to fulfill their loan requirements in repayment with their physical selves. So this was a really dirty practice. Basically, you had no choice. You had to go along with it. Now, Mr. Justice Collins here is the wonderful man that came up with this idea and put it into practice at the Whipple Company store. Now, consider that after Justice Collins passed away, there was a lot of discontent and hatred towards him built up, a lot of negativity that a lot of women carried into their death. And it is said that this house in particular has a very, very, very negative energy, and that women spirits are definitely around, and they like to pick on males in particular. So guys, be very careful. There have been reports of scratches, being grabbed, and men's beards being pulled. It's a very specific gender thing. So if you have a beard, you better watch out.
What did she say?
You heard her.
Beards?
Yes.
Tugged?
Everybody has a beard.
That's not cool. Not cool at all.
His story goes back to just a few years ago. A couple of blocks that way is General CAMC Hospital. They do get the occasional prisoner brought in by police that needs some lab work or scans or something like that. They had this gentleman over there getting some lab work done, and he's in his hospital gown and everything, and he takes off. He escapes from the police and he comes running towards the Canal River. Well, he runs up the Southside Bridge about halfway across, jumps into the Canal River, and leaves the police standing behind watching. Well, the police figure he's either going to come up or he's not. So they stand there watching, and sure enough, he comes up, and he's swimming around taunting them in the middle of the river. Well, the police call for a boat because they don't want to get wet, and they start getting it in the water and going out to get the guy. And they're about halfway to getting him, and he all of a sudden has a change of heart and starts swimming towards the police boat. And instead of taunting the police, he's begging them to help him get in the boat. Now, the police get him inside and dry it off a little bit, and they're like, okay, well, what happened? What was the sudden thing that changed your mind about running from us? Well, he goes on to describe that someone or something had grabbed his leg in the middle of the river and tried to pull him down. He went on to say that he thought this was the Loch Ness Nessie of the canal. So, I'm not really sure about that, but I can tell you when I was really young, my dad used to make jokes about the Canal River because once upon a time, thankfully it's a lot more cleaned up today than what it was, but once upon a time it did have a lot of chemical pollution, we'll say. And he used to say that there were catfish in the canal the size of Volkswagens. This gentleman was experiencing instead of the Canal Nessie. I don't really know, but I do like to share that with everybody because under his terms, we have our very own Canal Nessie. So you guys watch out next time you're swimming.
I'm not swimming in the water anymore.
I won't swim in that water, period, whether there's Nessie or not.
Swim in the Canal River, you're going to grow a tail. It's true. Is it a fluffy tail? No, it's not.
If you guys get home and you want to look us up and get some more information on us, you can go to charlestonghosttourcompany.com.
And she has a lot more ghost stories to tell you, so go to her website and book your tour today. Well, folks, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And folks, if you're looking for a good ghost story, don't forget to always have fun.